one of the biggest things I think was visualization, and that like everyone's had those days where they just suck, right? Like you can't do a turn to save your life. You're getting burned on every wave. And you start to snowball effect, like these negative thoughts. And I didn't even realize that it was messing with my performance. And I would punch boards, and like I would get mad. I wasn't like real hot-headed towards people in the lineup a lot of times, but when you're not surfing well and you care so much about it, you're just getting mad. And part of it was like, well, now visualize you doing well. And how do you feel when it's one of those days where you can't miss? You're on the magic board and every turn is clicking. Get into that headspace. Sometimes I would go into shore and just watch waves, like waves that people weren't on or waves that people were on. And I started to visualize how I would approach that wave. I would kind of edit the person off the wave, unless they were surfing really well and I saw something that I wanted to take. But I started to visualize those like just surfing really, really well all the time and getting rid of the negative like snowball effect. And that was a huge thing for me, because when you get mad, you tense, right? And you're trying to like, sometimes it works. Like, man, there's been a few turns I've done where I was pissed and like, yeah, like, okay. But if we look at percentages, most of the time you're tense and too aggressive and you're not really in the flow of things, you're not going to perform your best. And that book opened up a lot of mental practices and ideas that I had never ever thought of before. And that just opened up this whole gateway of sports psychology. I was like, okay, this is just one book from one guy that plays basketball. Like, let me see what else is out there.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody can relate to having that crappy session, and most people just get stuck in that crappy session, you know? Yeah. Like, it's so hard to reset. It is really hard to reset. I think I'm gonna have to try that one.
Sometimes I would go in too, because it's just, you need like a reset sometimes. Not every time, especially if you're in a heat. I don't know how many people are competitive surfers out there these days, but it's like free surfing, and you're supposed to be out there because you want to have fun. Like, surfing is a really fun thing for me, but I'm competitive, so I wanted to perform. And when the performance isn't there, I would start to get mad. And then sometimes the madder I got, the worse the performance got. And then the whole session and the whole reason why I was even out there in the first place is ruined. And I would go in, if I could catch myself, like, you need a reset, paddle in, watch a few waves, breathe it out. Now, what do you want to do on this wave? Watch it. I'd be like, oh, I'd click 3 turns to the beach on that one for sure. I'm like, how'd it feel? That felt pretty good. I was like, all right, next wave. And because you're on the shoreline watching this, your wave count goes to 1,000, right? Every wave that comes in is your wave. And I actually use that with the kids quite a bit, because you just do not spend enough time physically on the wave. You can surf for 3 hours. You are sitting and paddling for 2 hours and 55 minutes. Like, you might spend 5 minutes total on a wave in a 3-hour session, maybe, depending on where you're surfing. But that's not enough time to progress. And if you're having a bad session and you're mad, like, it's almost a complete wash unless you can go reset and go mind surf a little bit, in my opinion.
Totally. You know, it's interesting. I almost feel like part of the reason why progression has gotten so good is good and bad, you know, but it's so back in the day, everybody had surf films and you'd watch like the whole video. But like with Instagram, there's just all this new content and it's always short clips. It might even just be one turn. And I feel like all the grounds are just like watching that one turn like 100 times, and they're just visualizing themselves just do that turn. I mean, that's what I do, you know, when I'm trying to work on. Hey everyone, if you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down there and check out our other videos, because we got tons of great content to help you improve.